How attachment affects adult relationships. So, um, most of us ideally should have secure attachment, not just as infants, but even in our adult relationships. And I think that most of us do have secure attachment. But what happens when this secure baby becomes an adult and an anxious baby becomes an adult? So, in a secure relationship, what you would see is that ideally you would have a partner as well who is a secure adult himself or herself. But sometimes, and most of the time, we see that when a relationship doesn't work out, is because the attachment styles of the two adults in the relationship are different. So, you may have a secure attachment style, but if you are in a relationship with somebody who has an anxious attachment style or an avoidant attachment style, most of the time those relationships tend to fail. So, in an ideal world, you would be a secure adult and you would be attached to somebody who is also a secure adult. What do these relationships look like? Most likely, these relationships look like relationships where you are allowed to be yourself. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to expand your own horizon. There is very little insecurity, almost no jealousy, no controlling behavior. You would allow your partner, and your partner would also allow you to explore your own world and own environment. And uh, there's no sort of manipulative behavior. So these relationships are between two secure adults would be that both individuals are allowed to pursue their own interests, their own hobbies, be their own selves without this need to prove to the other person that, okay, I need to spend so many hours a day with you to prove that I love you, or I need to buy you these gifts to prove that I love you. There are very few expectations, and secure adults are able to allow their partner to be the best person they can be. So they don't mind if you travel with your friends. I'm just giving you examples of what it would look like. They don't mind if you work long hours. They don't mind if you're ambitious. They don't mind if you have different ideas about how to live your life. So in a marriage, for example, you would be allowed to decide if you want to live on your own or you want to live with your parents, your in-laws. Your partner wouldn't see that as a rejection of themselves. If you say, okay, you know what, I want to live on my own, I want to work, I want to travel with my friends, your partner would say, okay, go for it. You're an individual, you're allowed to make your own decisions, and it's not my security which is being affected by you deciding to do things your way. So this is what a secure adult would look like, and this is what a secure relationship would look like. Now, if you put a secure adult with an anxious adult, what happens is the secure adult says, okay, I want to be this individual who wants to work. I want to take up this new promotion which takes me to another city to work. A secure adult would say, go for it, it's good for your career and we'll figure out a way. An anxious adult would say, oh my god, my mother is leaving me and I don't know when she's going to come back. I don't know if I'm going to get her to pay attention to me again. And that's the mechanism, the attachment mechanism that is activated. So the anxious adult would say, no, 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 no. What's going to happen to our relationship? And what if you meet somebody else? What if our relationship doesn't work out? And what if? And as a result of that, the anxious and ambivalent adult would do what the infant child would do, is to strike against their partner. So there would be a lot of anger, there would be a lot of frustration, there would be a lot of, you are the reason why this relationship is not working. And there would be a lot of expectations that the secure partner cannot fulfill. And hence this anxious partner would feel very let down and would feel that same mechanism with the mother being activated about, I don't know if I'm going to get that security from my parent play out in their own relation. I don't know if I'm going to get that security from this person. And the secure adult starts to feel very controlled, very manipulated, and generally these relationships obviously don't work. Let's take a secure adult and an avoidant. A secure adult would say in the same example, for instance, that okay, I have this job, a promotion, and I'm going to move to another city to work for a while, and we'll see how it goes. The avoidant partner would say, okay, you know what, I don't want to talk about it. Do what you feel like doing, because this is what always happens with you, and I'm just going to go for a walk and we'll see. Avoidant partners generally tend to shut down and they tend to block you out, and then you see this repeated cold silent treatment time and time again, and they tend to avoid confrontations. The secure partner will try to talk, will try to open communication, will try to make a dialogue, but the avoidant partner generally tends to go into a shell, and it's very hard to penetrate that shell. What's going on there is that the avoidant child inside them is saying, you don't know when your mom's going to come back, so it's better that you just don't expect anything from her. Let's just detach from everything that's going on around us. That's the best way to protect yourself from any sort of harm or any sort of emotional hurt. So that sort of insecurity towards the mother about whether she's going to actually respond to you and she's going to love you, and to protect your own self you kind of build this sort of wall, then plays out in your adult relationship as an avoidant adult. And then you see the disorganized, which is a combination of the anxious and the avoidant adult. So you'll see a secure partner saying, I'm going away. The disorganized adult would you know um, between it, they would change between anxious and avoidant attachment style. So they would sometimes fight and sometimes react and then sometimes completely detach themselves, and that makes it very confusing for a secure adult, not understanding what's going on and why is this person so behaving so weirdly. So obviously you can see that these sort of relationships are disastrous, and sometimes they work out between two similar attachment styles. That's why you see so many people who are in difficult relationships, but they continue to be in those relationships because it seems to give them some sort of benefit. So you might see a relationship between two anxious styles or two avoidance styles working out, but generally if you have a different attachment style in the relationship, it generally doesn't tend to work out, unfortunately. So that's how attachment affects adult relationships.